Why India buys Russian oil. India, a country on the rise, has seen a huge increase in its domestic oil demands in the past few years. India is the world's third biggest oil importing and consuming nation. Prior to the start of the Russia-Ukraine war, India purchased most of its petroleum products from the Middle East, with only 1% of its oil imports from Russia. India has increased its purchase of Russian oil in the last few months, and has reached almost 18% of its total oil imports, for the month of May 2022, when reports were released in June. Though India has dramatically increased its purchase of Russian oil, in terms of percentage, India's purchase is still far less than what China and Germany buy from Russia. In the first 100 days of the Ukraine war, China with $13.1 billion, Germany with $12.6 billion, topped the list of Russian oil purchase, followed by Italy, Netherlands, Turkey, Poland, France, and then India, with $3.54 billion. So, there are many European countries who buy Russian oil more than India, with Germany almost 3 times as that of India. The question is, why did India increase its purchase of Russian oil? Well, for starters, the Western nations, spearheaded by the United States, had slapped sanctions on the oil-producing leaders like Iran and Venezuela for different reasons. After the sanctions were imposed, like many countries, India was disallowed to purchase oil from both Iran and Venezuela, and if they did, the US was willing to create economic hardships for India. The US has also angered the OPEC nations, with its constant tough talk on their human rights records, leaving the OPEC not cooperating with the US demand on increasing their oil output. This doesn't give many options for India, other than to look for alternatives, and Russian oil, known as Urals oil, has been a good choice for Indian oil refineries. The sanctions on Russia, and the subsequent reduction of Russian oil purchase by many countries, has created a huge surplus of Russian oil in the market, leading to a price reduction. The Indian oil companies were keen on purchasing oil from Russia, at a discounted price, with the seller, namely the Russian oil companies, paying for the shipment and insurance as well. Unlike many countries, which don't have the capacity to refine the Russian crude oil, Indian refineries have the capacity and the skill to refine the heavy sour oil from Russia. Buying Russian oil also helps with India's energy and overall security, since India has traditionally been overdependent on the Middle Eastern nations to meet its oil needs. The Middle Eastern region has seen a lot of volatility, with internal disturbance in Iraq, Syria, Yemen, Iran, and the entire region. West Asia has also seen a huge rise on Islamic terrorist groups, including ISIS, Al-Qaeda, etc., who have been very hostile towards India. So, any supply disruption due to terrorism, or other internal conflict, will create a huge suffering for India and its economy. Apart from that, many of the Middle Eastern nations have never given India its due, diplomatically, and some have taken political positions that hurt India. Saudi Arabia has used their money and influence to spread their hardline Islam into neighboring Pakistan, through Islamic religious schools, called madrasas. Pakistan then has used the money to fund fundamentalism and terrorism against India. So, less purchase of Saudi Arabian oil helps India directly, with its own national security. During the recent years, under their Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, India has taken a serious look at diversification, on their dependence with the Middle East nations, with purchase of oil from the United States for the first time. If it was possible, India will likely reduce its dependence and purchase of oil from many of the Middle Eastern nations entirely. The increase in the purchase of Russian oil by India is likely to stay for a long term. Thanks for watching.